Hey girls and guys and girls. Right, so this is from the second part of the dream, okay? Well, the whole dream, but the second part of the dream that I explained yesterday in the word what did I name it now? Oddbud with God's nod. Yeah, so that part of the dream I explained because it was a different scenario that was being explained, but altogether the whole entire dream has different segments. But I'm gonna try and cover it all right now and tell you what he's saying through this video. Okay, so just bear with me. So I'm gonna get started. I just don't know what the name of this dream's gonna be called. This video is gonna be called. This word's gonna be called, but we'll get there eventually. Okay, we'll get there. So at first I was at a workplace, and me and a couple of other colleagues were about to leave. On our way out, we saw a couple of dirty cups, and everybody was like, "Leave them, leave them, leave them. We're not doing that," etc. But I seen that they were really dirty. One of them had poo in the glass with water, and I was like, that's disgusting. So I went and tipped it out, washed them out, and put them to a side, and then left the building. Okay, that's where that part of the dream ends, or should I call it like mini visions? Okay, because sometimes you can have like 4, 5, 6 pieces of a dream. You're in one section, next minute you're in the next place, next minute you're in the next place. Okay, you know, if you dream, you know what I'm talking about. So the next part was the part where I said in the last dream I went over to the counter to the shopkeeper and was asking him about the shoes. There was a transaction between the two of us, okay, and he gave me my change back. What he gave me was more than what I had originally given him, even. Okay, so he went above what I had even paid him. And then when I looked over at his books, it said he had 110 intake, and he had given me £90 change back. So I had taken majority of what he had. Okay, the numbers are significant. I didn't look up 110 though. That's the only number that I don't think I looked up, but that's easy peasy. I can get that done in a heartbeat, so that's not a problem. I'll do that shortly. Right, so yeah, we made that exchange. He told me that the shoes were on the way. They were just taking a little bit longer. And then that's when I walked over and I was sat next to the two people. One whose name means the promise. The other one whose name means priceless, highly praiseworthy, and flower. Okay. And they was speaking, joking. I was joking with them, and then he was tickling the one that's name's Promise and laughing and joking, and I leaned into him, and then I looked over in the corner, and there was somebody who I know personally who was in the corner looking and giving the evil eye. And then from there was two girls who was in front of me, one whose name was Kira and the other one whose name was Onyx. But when I seen Onyx, I was like, oh, her name's Onyx, isn't it? To another woman whose name means dark, right? And she said, no, we handed that name back to her dad. Her nan named her Carol. So I was like, Carol? And she said, yeah, I know. And then she walked out. Okay. From that point, I was looking at them a little bit longer, and then it switched to the part where I was sat next to the guy who I used to go to school with, whose name is Ramel, and I stroked his face. He turned around, he smiled, and then his face went wrinkly. Okay, and then that's where that ended. So, let me get the beginning of the dream first. Okay, so in this building, which was a workplace that looked slightly familiar, it was just me tying off the old things, getting rid of the old dirty things that need to be cleansed on the inside. Okay, of that area of life. So if you've been in a workplace recently, you've probably left that workplace. He's just telling you to tie up the old ends, okay, the old things that were there, like those old colleagues. They're probably your friends now or not your friends now, whichever way it may be. There was still some things that needed to be finished at that place. Okay, there were still some things that needed to be cleansed off of you from that place. Okay, old attitudes, a mindset that you may have picked up from there. but it shows that you've changed in character, because when they had left the things behind, you had decided, well, I had decided in the dream, but I'm speaking on behalf of you, so take it how you're supposed to take it, okay? Because like, you got to try and put yourself in this as spiritually as you can, okay? Not personally, like physically putting yourself in it, but listening from a spiritual point, okay? So basically, your persona has changed. You've done work on yourself, okay? And because of this, it's helping you to move forward from these things and these ways of thinking that you used to have, okay? Right, so that part's out of the way. Now I'm going to get into the name meanings. Carol means joyful song. Antonio means, I said the name now, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, this person's name was Antonio. Means priceless, flower, and highly praiseworthy. The other person, as you know, is the promise. The little girl's name, who's Kira, means little dark one, and onyx means gemstone, claw, fingernail. The lady's name means black. The person who was in the corner giving the evil eye means strong, exalted mountain of strength or teacher. And Rumel means a branch or sand, okay? And I think what the name is of it in Hebrew, but it looks really bad, so I don't think I can even get into that. Right? So let's get into what he gave me as the revelation. Okay, so he wants me to give you this message, and it doesn't matter what season you may be in currently. It is relevant to your progression and how to move forward with your faith firmly planted in him. God's word tells us that if we have faith as small as a mustard seed, we can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. That's Matthew 17, 20 through to 21. So, okay, either today, tomorrow, or in the distant future, whenever it may be, there will be an exchange that will come provided to you by God. Okay, how did I get this? When I looked up 90 says agag, and it means I will overtop. Then in my hand, when I looked at the money, what was highlighted was a £50 note and a £20 note. So when I looked up 50, let me see if I can get the Hebrew version of what it means. Abishua. My father is rescue. And 20 means manhood, accountability, expectation, maturity, and being counted. All right, there's probably some other meanings as well, because I've seen some others, but that's what I was given, okay, and what he had drawn to me. All right, so there will be something that is coming to you, okay? There's an exchange. There's going to be something that is handed to you, right? You will have done nothing to deserve it. You won't have had to toil for it, and you won't be expecting it. But when it comes, you will feel guilty about taking it and wanting to hold on to it because of how it has been received. Others will see what has been promised and given to you is priceless, and they will watch you from the shadows. He is pointing out very strongly that this will be family. Okay, I have to stretch that out. Okay, it will be family, very close family members, right? They have been served in your life currently as a blockage to your elevation, okay? They may have constantly been scrutinizing every little thing that happens in your life. They hate to see you happy because you are all surrounded by darkness, but you continue to be given love, and you continue to walk in love no matter what may be happening. You love everyone and everything sincerely, and this bugs them, okay? It's like you walk around singing a joyful song and it follows you everywhere that you go. It's like it's playfully swirling around you, and it's like it's happening and you don't have a care in the world, okay? Psalms 98:4. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth, break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Even you sometimes find it so hard to believe that no matter what is happening, you have been so brave, like a bear. And where I got that from, when I looked up the name of the little girl's dad, the one that was named Onyx and got her name changed to Carol, it says that his name Brave Bear, and then that's the definition he gave me for that part. And then also for his name, it's like he was the darkness, okay, going by the person's character. Have me look at their character, and they're in a dark place and they're not living the way that they should be. They're in darkness, right? So he said here, leave the darkness with the dark one, the father of darkness, okay? That's where you need to leave any of that, like give it back, give the darkness back to the dark one, okay? So you've been brave as a bear, you've been singing his praises and standing firm in your beliefs, okay? God looks down and sees this, and he is so proud of you, for you are his good and faithful servant. Matthew 25:23. But here's where it gets tricky. If you decide that you cannot accept how odd this may be, sorry guys, my writing. If you cannot accept how odd this may be, having to love those who hate you and do not wish you well, your land that he is giving you will become desolate, and as the deserts of Egypt. He says in his word, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. John 15:6. I said that in the last word as well, okay? Because that's the part when I stroked the boy's face that I used to go to school with, and he smiled but turned wrinkly, okay? Just to kind of break it down a little bit for you. He needs you to stop talking and telling those who have no care for you what is happening in your life. When I stroked his face and I looked up, what does stroking the cheek mean? Obviously it's like an enduring sign when somebody's not feeling great, or like you want to show them affection kind of thing. But it came up with shut up. Right, that's what came up, right? I don't know if you go look it up and that's the same thing that came up, but that's what came up. And I was like, yep, I know exactly what you're saying here, right? So he's saying that he wants you to shut your mouth on this. Whatever you are being given, wherever you may be, guard it, right? Stop telling people your business, right? Because they don't care, okay? They don't care. The forces at work here are congregating to inflict damage upon you and ruin what is yours. You are in danger, right? The place where you was a dangerous place, and you've been placed there unknowingly, and you need to get out immediately, okay? This could be either spiritual or physical. If it is, you need to ask him, okay? He may have been speaking and issuing it to your spirit already that you need to leave either the city, the town where you are, the house where you may live, whatever it may be. Or if it's spiritual, you need to move away from people, because spiritually you're not connecting to them. You speak to him, he will let you know, okay, which one it is. But right now he needs you to be done and to separate yourself from certain people, okay? It's officially your season of isolation. It's not clear for how long you will be away from certain individuals, but for your best interest and anyone closely linked to you, such as your children, you need to keep a distance for a little while. Ask him how long and why, for everyone's situation is different. Bear in mind, he isn't trying to ruin your life or your fun, etc. He merely wishes to help you move forward after being stagnant for so long. Some of you have been stagnant for your whole entire life, and it seems like nothing has ever worked and nothing would ever just be good for a long period of time. And no matter what you do or did was ever good enough, okay? He wants you out of this situation, out of this way of barely surviving, out of this never prospering past a certain point situation that you find yourself in. He wants to bless you, but he cannot do that without your obedience. 1 Samuel 15:22. It's time to open your eyes and stop sleeping on yourself and on what's going on around you. Lean into him. He said, baby girl or baby boy, I'm him, his imperial majesty. And then a song came on that I've known for many, many years, and it's Sammy, I'm him. So I'm going to put the lyrics up. We'll do that after I've tied this all in together, okay? Let me go to this one. Sorry guys, let me just type it in so that I don't have to do all of that after. One finger type. And get the lyrics up. Is it going to give me the lyrics? Yeah. Pop that on the page. So that's right in front of me. And I know this is like a love song, guys, but it has some valid points in here, okay? And you'll understand why when I get into it shortly afterwards. So, right, where was we? Well, how was I going to break this down to you guys now? Where was I going to break it down? I think I broke down a majority of it, right, to be honest with you. But it's the simple case that you are not realizing that your environment, right, is very toxic at the moment, and you're not really paying attention to these things. This was what I was going to do. I was going to look up 110 because Hebrew. So immediately, I don't know what that one is, I'm not going by that one. So Strong's Hebrew 110 means disciplined of God, okay? So on the paper, there was 110, it means disciplined of God. And I got 90 of that, okay? And it says, I will overtop, which means overcome, excel, whatever way you want to look at it. And then 50 was my father is rescue. 20, manhood, accountability, expectation, maturity, being counted. Okay, so right now he is looking into your situation. Right now he is doing everything for you. He's coming through with everything that is yours, okay? And then he had me on Proverbs, okay? And this one is going to go into the dream that I had last night. So this is how I am aware that he is saying the same thing. So I ended up on a bus with a whole bunch of guys and 2 girls, right? And they was all dressed in black. I was in light colors, and I was sat at the back of the bus. Like, I was the last one to go up, and it's like as I was walking to the back of the bus, they felt uneasy. I could see the uneasiness in them. They could just about even look in my face, right? So I'm there on the bus. I'm there talking away to the other girl that's sitting next to me, and you can tell that there's like a communication. There's no engagement with them or me, okay, really. But I still go along with them anyway. Then we go to a house. I'm sitting at this house and this TV's on. Can't remember what was on the TV. One of the girls is lying in one of the guys' laps. Let me see if I can look up his name. Let me see if I can find his name. Sorry, guys. Hopefully this will last. If they have the definition for his name. It says the Lord is my father, but because of this situation where I was and how dark it was there, like not dark in lighting, how dark the presence of every person was in there, okay? This was a place that people who would judge a certain group of boys, right, was like, with hoods, dark clothes. If you know, you know what I'm saying here, but I don't judge people like that, okay? But I was in the midst of that, and I was definitely the odd one out here, okay? So recently he's been saying, you're the odd one in this situation because you are not supposed to be there, okay? So I was there speaking, the TV got turned off, and then 2 guys who were the ones that wouldn't look at me felt real uneasy, sorry. And then you seen when they left, but they didn't look at me still. They just kind of said bye and walked out. Then that's when I woke up, all right? At this time, you are surrounded by darkness. Remember I said in that dream that I just explained to you, right, that these people's names, right, every single person except for the one in the corner means something that is dark, okay? Kira, little dark one. Onyx, gemstone, claw, fingernail. This is what we're going to get into because this is witchcraft. He's pointing out witchcraft here, okay, with this onyx, okay? There's people who are using their gemstones, right? They're witches. When you look at claws and fingernail, you think witches, right? That's witchcraft. right? And the next woman's name is Black, and the other person's name is Strong, exalted mountain of strength, okay? But the way that the person was in the corner giving the evil eye, that means that it's a strong man, a stronghold, a strong enemy that's trying to come in and ruin what is yours, okay? Trying to be that mountain that won't move out of the way, right? Surrounded by darkness. And he's saying you are the odd one in this situation. You are too light to be here, right? I'm sure there's a paragraph, or it's in a song, right, that I love, by, is it Limo Blaze or Marizu? It's Marizu. And he turns and he says, when I step in, no, darkness cannot withstand the light. When I step in, it flees out of sight. That's why I'm a wonder. Go listen to the song, Marizu, I'm a wonder. Or wonder, sorry, not I'm a wonder. And what was I gonna look up here? Darkness cannot withstand the light. Not sure if that's exactly how it goes, but absolutely clear that darkness does not have the ability to suppress or to hold the light under its domain. Okay, so we got one that came, it was John 1:5. And it says, makes it absolutely clear that darkness does not have the ability to suppress or to hold the light under its domain. Darkness may try to prevent the light from shining, but it never holds back the light permanently. Eventually, it always comes shining through. Hallelujah. Right, so in this occasion, they couldn't stop me from talking. You could see that people was annoyed. They wouldn't speak to me. Their heads was down. They couldn't look at me and things like that. But the light in me, they couldn't suppress it, right? But I was just in the wrong place. I was surrounded by darkness. And he's saying to a lot of us that we are surrounded by dark things, dark situations, dark people that, you know, do bad things, right? And how I know that he's been saying this also, this will be possibly the end of this video now, is because he's had me go to Proverbs and he's pointed it out 3 times, okay? As he does majority of the time. He will show me in threes that he's speaking to me, and I went into Proverbs. Now, I don't know Bible like that, okay? As I says, I'm kind of relatively new to this, but I'm loving it at the same time because I've never dug so deep into the Bible before. I only knew the Psalms, and I only knew like 3 of them, okay? Because I had always heard of Psalms 27, Psalms 23, and Psalms 91. So those were the ones that I kind of stuck to, okay? Pretty well that I did have that knowledge from my mum, bless her, because I don't know if I would have made it otherwise, okay, right? Because I needed some God in my life without even knowing I needed God in my life, right? So yeah, I'm gonna read Proverbs and you're gonna see what I'm saying here, okay? There's probably a lot of people who haven't read it either, so this will be good for you too. So this one is called The Beginning of Knowledge, okay? And what does it say under there? Proverbs 9 1 to 12. We're not on 9 though, we're on Proverbs 1. These are the Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and discipline, for comprehending word of insight, and for receiving instruction in wise living and in righteousness, justice, and equity, to impart prudence to the simple, and knowledge and discretion to the young. Let the wise listen and gain instruction, and the discerning acquire a wise counsel, by understanding the proverbs and parables and sayings and riddles of the wise. The fear of the Lord is beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and discipline. Listen, okay? When we're young, we're all as fools, right? Take wisdom. Right, so this one's called The Enticement of Sin. Listen, my son, to your father's instruction, and do not forsake the teaching of your mother, for they are a garland of grace on your head and a pendant around your neck. My son, if sinners entice you, do not yield to them. If they say, come along, let us lie in wait for blood, let us ambush the innocent without cause, let us swallow them alive like Sheol, and whole like those descending into the pit. We will find all manner of precious goods. We will fill our houses with plunder. Throw in your lot with us. Let us all share one purse. My son, do not walk the road with them, or set foot upon their path, for their feet run to evil, and they are swift to shed blood. How futile it is to spread the net where any bird can see it. But they lie in wait for their own blood. They ambush their own lives. Such is the fate of all who are greedy, whose unjust gain takes the lives of its possessors. Da, 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 da. And I want to do, you know which version I want to do? Because to me, it just gives you a clean, like, I love King James version, okay? I can't say I don't love that. I love King James version. So I'm going to go over the enticement of sin again to you in King James version, okay? So, my son, hear the instructions of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother, for they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chain about thy neck. Okay, when you think of your head, you're supposed to think of your crown, okay? The grace that has been placed upon your head, which is your crown, okay? And what did they say in this world? Don't let anybody knock off your crown, pick up your crown, you know, all that, those sayings about your crown, right? So it's your crown of grace that's been given to you, right? And the chain about your neck. When you think about the neck, I've explained the neck before. A neck in a female especially is a beautiful part, right? It's like grace, poise, and he's saying in the last one, this one says chains, the other one says pearls, and there's a Bible verse that says, do not cast your pearls before swine. Okay, hopefully who gets this will get this. You have ears, all right? So, and then it says, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse. My son, walk not thou in the way with them. Refrain thy foot from their path, for their feet run to evil and make haste to shed blood. Surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird, and they lay wait for their own blood. They lurk privily for their own lives. So are the ways of every one that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Okay, so where I was, go and read Proverbs, the rest of Proverbs for yourself. That in itself is evident in what he is saying here. The crowd that you are walking with, whoever it may be, you are the odd one there. You are not like these people, and you are not like these people because you have too much light in you. You do not do things the way that they do things, and he needs you to take yourself out of this situation. You are in danger. Remember, warning comes before destruction. You are being warned in this hour. You need to stay away from these people and come out of this situation, whatever it may be. They do not have your best interest at heart, okay? Some are even plotting against you. I don't know if you're young, I don't know if you're an elder person or whatever your age may be, but you have way too much light. You're not supposed to be there, okay, around these family members. And in this situation with this dream that he gave me last night, around these people, they could be friends that you have just started hanging around, whatever it may be. They do not see you as one of them because you are not, okay? You carry too much light, and that light irritates their demons, okay? It's time for you to come away from there, all right? That's the warning that I've got on this word, okay? In both situations, whether it's family members or these new friends, whatever it may be, you need to get away from there. You are surrounded by darkness, okay? That is evident in this word that he is saying, and it is a word that is a very now word that needs to be spoken to someone, because you are in danger. I'm sorry it seems all heavy and things like that, and it's not like a really soft, beautiful, loving word, but there is some love in it, because that part where there says that you are given love and you are surrounded by love, but you keep on like walking, even though you're in darkness, you're still like this bright, loving, caring person. When I was given the shoes, remember I was given the shoes, right? Those shoes were pink. Remember what pink means? It means love, romance, okay? those things are coming into you. These people are not happy about that. That could be your person coming into you. You've just got yourself a new wife or husband or new girlfriend. You just started speaking to someone, they don't like that. Like it can be multiple situations here, but you are being issued with love, and because you're in a dark place or surrounded by these dark people, some being witches, right, that are doing spell work and things like that, which I'm going to get into in the next video. You need to separate. You need to come away from there. I know that you love people, I know that you're kind and caring and all of these things, but you do not fit in there. It says, do not cast your pearls out among swine. Okay, what you have, right, they are not worthy of the light that you have. Okay, the things that you have, they're not the people that you need to share it with. Okay, there are people who are out there who are for you, and these people are not for you. This situation where you have found yourself is not where you're supposed to be. Okay, that's evident in what he's saying here. So I hope that whoever this word is for can understand where I'm coming from. Please, like, for your own sake, get out of there. Okay, it's not safe. Right, he shows me things in certain ways, and the reason why I can say that the place is not safe is because the place that I know it to be, how he speaks to me, and my mentality, like God will speak to us the way that we view things. Okay, right, and my mentality is of a specific dangerous thing that I know of, right, or I've heard of, and throughout life have associated that dangerous thing with. He showed me this building, right, that I know is of a dangerous place, right, like this dangerous thing that I know to be dangerous. So I know that you are surrounded by the darkness, and it's danger. Okay, he's saying danger. Okay, could even be stranger, danger, but this is danger, and you need to walk out. Okay, you need to walk out. You are changing minds. Okay, people are seeing how you are changing, and when this woman walked out, even though her name was dark, she walked out into the light. Okay, you are turning people away from their bad ways, the bad things, right, the darkness, but you yourself are staying surrounded by this, thinking that you can change everyone, and you cannot. You need to get out of there. Okay, these people are not willing to change right now. There will be few that will, right, but you cannot do the work where you are. It's darkness there. Okay, you cannot achieve the greatness that he has for you in that place. It's like is it Jonah, when God tells Jonah to go to Nineveh, and he goes to, is it I can't remember the name of the place that he goes to. Go and look up Jonah, the story of Jonah. Go on YouTube, watch it, whatever you need to do. And he goes to a separate place, and all kinds of mad things start happening because he's not supposed to be there. God says, nope, I don't want you here. So until you do the work that I'm telling you to do in the place that I'm telling you to do it, these dangerous things are going to happen. Like there was a storm on the boat, and people had to be casting their things off of the ship, and he was sleeping, and one of them goes, do you not realize what's going on? Like, you're in the midst of turmoil, and you're not even realizing that you're in the midst of it. And he's telling you right now, you need to leave that place, because he has work for you to do somewhere else, but you cannot do it there. Okay, like the light that's in you is not for these people. This light needs to be shone upon the people who are going to accept it, the people who are going to accept you, even, right, for who you are. These people are non-accepting of who you are. They don't care, right? And as I said, some of them are looking to destroy what you have. So it's time for you to get out of there. Cut, okay? Go. Right. I hope nobody don't cut nobody. No cutting, all right? We rebuke that in the name of Jesus. So, right, I think I've done it now, because my nose has started to itch me. So I know oftentimes when my nose starts to itch now, I know that he's saying that it's time. It's done. So I know that this is done. I know it's done. My nose is really on one. And before I start getting giggly on here, I'm going to bid you adieu and say ciao, Bella. Bye.